through 188. Okay? So, in the remaining half of this class, we've got to try to rock and roll through 188 lines. Okay. So, after 2 books of after dinner narration by Aeneas, the Regina was Grauli Saukiakura.
What line am I in?
Line 1 of book 4.
Oh, okay.
Nothing you prepared, but we're going to look at it a little bit together. She was, well, who's the Regina? She's
The queen.
the queen,
Dido.
in other words, Dido.
Dido.
She was wounded with a grave cura, grave care or concern. And she nurtures this wound down deep in her veins. And what gives you the clue here is that she is Kaiko Carpator Igni. She is seized by a flame. She got the hots for Aeneas.
Ooh.
Okay? Okay?
We already know that.
We got to already know that, but now we get it official.
We went
Yes.
over to our remaining.
Extra, read all about it. Dido, hot for Aeneas. Okay? And
Who's forced to?
and she starts thinking back over him. And I got to say, lines 3 and 4 interesting. You ladies don't fool anybody. All right? The difference is, I got to be honest. I think guys are more forthright. I think guys are more upfront
Amen.
and honest. Am I right or am I right?
Oh God, women are liars.
I'm right. I don't know. We want to go that far. I don't think we want to go that far.
There's no mystery about what we want.
That's what I'm.
Women don't even know what women want.
Guys, you know, there's the visual aspect. Everybody knows this. It's true for you ladies too. You just don't admit it. Because look at Dido. What is it that sticks deep in her pectore? Deep in her heart? It's his verba. That's true. His what? His words. But it's also his vultus. His face. Okay? Dude is handsome. Okay? Now, I'm sure that if he had been ugly, his words would have stuck in her heart too, but she would not have been seized by an igni. Okay? That's coming from his vultus. Alright? Dude's handsome. He's a war hero, and he's just told a very compelling war story. Okay? And so, wow. Mercy. There is no quietum for her membris. There's no quiet. There's no rest for her membris, for her limbs. She's just kind of wandering around and, wringing her hands and, thinking back and, and that she just, can't stop thinking about it. And so finally, of course, she comes up to her sister, line 9. And if we didn't notice before, let's get back to our, maybe a family tree of Dido. All right, so we've got Dido. We've got her brother Pygmalion. And we've got her sister Anna. Right? And we know that Dido was married to Sychaeus. Right? And together they were the kings and queens of Tyre. Right? And so we know that what's happened to Sychaeus? He's dead, killed by brother. So brother has killed Sychaeus. And then Dido and sister Anna run off together to found Carthage. Okay? So naturally, in a situation like this, she turns to her sister and she says, I can't sleep. I can't eat. It's keeping me up all night here. She says, what do I do about this? She says, Quem, top of page 198, quem sese ore ferens, quam forti pectora et armis. Again, at least Dido is being more honest than some. Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. She says, look at how he, sese ore ferens, look at how he bears himself in his face. Look at his countenance. Dude is hot. He's got one of those rock solid jaws. I mean, it's just really great. And she says, and by God, look at that pectorate. Look at that strong chest. and
Yeah,
those
even
those
chef.
armies. Now, here's the thing: armies is weapons, really. It's not these kind of arms. That is a whole other word.
Which I still don't know.
So maybe this is the first instance of the gun show. You know, it's really the first instance of the double
sword
meaning there.
show.
It's the sword show. You're taking to the sword show.
Question.
Oh my gosh, that would be such a funny shirt. That would be such a funny shirt. Have some like Greco-Roman warrior,
And
real
Mickey
muscle bound,
eating cereal.
and then have like the arrows. You know, do you have your tickets to the sword show? That'd be hilarious.
I still don't know the
I
word
would
for
agree with
arm.
What's that?
I don't think we still know the word for arm. At least I don't.
Oh, in Latin?
Yeah.
As there's brachium. Brachium,
Brachii,
brachii, neuter.
Brachiosaurus.
It's the second decline.
Okay.
She says, wow. She says, I don't know about you, but man, she says, he's got to be Genus Deorum.
He's gotta A be. gift from the gods.
He's got to be the race of the gods. Because, you know, seriously,
Well,
you looked around at the local Tyrian guys, I mean, you know, and they don't stack up to, but that dude, Genus Deorum, okay? And then she goes on from there and she says, oh boy, how he can tell a story. Quae bella exhausta caneva. Boy, that guy can tell a story. He can tell a true war story. And she says, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. 'Cause I'm kind of bound up here by this Ugali Winklo, by this bond of marriage. Even though Zacchaeus is dead, she's still considered married. She says, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. And Anna, well, she says, after the death of Zacchaeus, this is the first fellow who's ever, you know, kind of gotten the heart to go pitter pat. You know, the only boy who could ever reach me was the son of Anchises' man. Yes, you're shaking your head, so I know you got it.
Oh.
Dusty Springfield, son of a preacher man. The only
You're the
boy
son
who
of
could
a
ever reach
preacher
me
man.
was the son of a preacher man. That's
Oh,
it.
yes.
That's terrible.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
that was a horrible
He was.
one.
Okay,
Like, I
yes.
was thinking it. I was like,
Yes.
terrible.
Danielle.
Okay, so like marriage kind of like, you know, him like Zacchaeus dying is kind of like tying her. So it's like, is it like the culture that's like you can't do that because like a lot of people that we've seen so far, like Hector's wife, are married. You know?
That's true. Apparently, she had felt bound in some sort of a way by an oath to Zacchaeus. You know, she still felt that. And I got to be honest, I like the first 3/4 or better of the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks and all the stuff out there on the island and Wilson, the volleyball. The end.
She leaves him.
Where she
His
was
girl
that,
being
yes.
married while he was out there on the island. I'm going, he kept her picture all that time on that island. He comes back and finds she's married with kids.
I was almost crying.
But they were together. And she tells him somewhere in her heart, she always thought he was alive. Well, if you thought he was alive, what were you doing getting married? Somebody else. I can't watch the end of that movie.
Women.
Good movie.
Liars.
Say, there you go. I said the same. Yeah,
It's a
all
good
right.
movie. I haven't seen the movie forever, but that's.
She says, not sure what I'm supposed to do. Anna responds in line 31. Anna responds in line 31. This is not really a choice, sister. She says, let's look at this. Anna puts it very politely in line 33. She says, you know, for a long time now, you have not known the Primia Veneris. No, Primia Premii Neuter.
The reward.
The rewards. You have not known the rewards of Venus for a long time.
That's ironic in a way, isn't it? Like
It is.
you don't know the
Rewards.
yeah.
Exactly.
Poor Helen.
You know, you haven't known love for quite some time. Okay? Do you really think
What's love got to do with it?
got to do with it? What is love?
Baby, you hurt.
Baby, don't hurt.
Baby, don't hurt me.
No more.
Okay. I will say Angela Bassett did a fantastic job portraying Tina Turner in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? If you've ever seen that, Angela Bassett does a fantastic job portraying Tina Turner. It's absolutely outstanding. Lawrence Fishburne plays Ike Turner. Okay. She says, do you really think that the sepultos, think about a good derivative here. Sepulchre. Do you think that the dead care? Okay, Zacchaeus doesn't care. Hon, he is worm food. He doesn't care. Besides, you've rejected everybody else. Line 36. She says you rejected all the ductores, all the leaders here in Africa, because we're in Northern Africa now. You rejected all of them. And she says, in case you haven't noticed it, she says a whole bunch of enemies, line 41, kingunt us, surround us. In case you haven't noticed, sis, we're not the most popular city-state around. Here we are, a bunch of foreigners who've come and carved out some spot in other people's lands. Now these guys hate us. And as a queen, you might have at least formed an alliance with one of those guys, and you haven't. So now here comes along this stud, who is also quite the warrior, and could help us and help our people. This is a no-brainer. You wink at this guy, okay? You make this thing happen, however it takes. You form an alliance and a relationship with Aeneas, okay? This is what you got to do. All right? So there they go. All right. Blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Now, in the meantime, we're going to skip over here a little bit. We're going to skip over a little bit. Look at this line 68. Uretur in Felix Dido totaque wagator urbe furens. Dido now, she uretur. She burns, right? She burns with these romantic feelings. And she wagator, it's the root of vagrant. She wanders around through the urbe city. She is furens. She's crazed, right? She's mad in the sense of kind of out of her mind. She's wandering around the city. And Virgil says she's just like a carawak. She's just like a deer. And he goes into this extended metaphor. He says, you know what? It's like some hunter, right? Out in the woods, hunter shoots his arrow. Arrow flies astray. Hunter doesn't know what he's hit. Arrow actually ends up striking this deer. And it's not a fatal shot, but then the deer, ouch, struck by this arrow, starts running through the forest. And that's what it is with Dinah, right? She's now been struck with the arrow of
It's
love.
interesting, like deer and hunter, because early on, Aeneas was hunting the deer.
Yes.
That's very.
Dude, that was a nice parallel there.
I always praise like
Right.
deer headlights running like.
That's like, exactly. Okay. And now, line 74. She ducet Aeneon. She leads Aeneas through the media, through the middle of the city. And she starts ostentat stuff. She starts showing him stuff. It's like, over here, we're building this, and over here, we've got this going. And right over there, I imagine we're going to have this. And she's casting out all the plans for the future of Carthage. And she's kind of showing off the city a little bit. Okay? And she keeps wanting to hear, in line 78 and following, she keeps wanting to hear about the Iliacos Labores. The labors of what? The Trojan War. So every night at dinner, it's the same old story. It's like, Aeneas, tell me again. She's hanging on every word, right? She wants this. And then, this is where it gets as creepy as it could possibly get. Line 83 and following. Okay? Even when he is absentem, she outed him and widded him. She hears him and sees him. She thinks she sees him everywhere. Oh, Aeneas, is that you? And she thinks she sees and hears him everywhere. And then, hey, if you don't have Aeneas, the next best thing, Ascanius. Now, Ascanius at this point, we're kind of a guesstimation, maybe around that 10, 11, 12 range. And she will datinate him. She will hold him. He who is the very imagine of his genitoris, the very image of his father. Okay? Now, yeah, and I don't think you want to interpret that as anything, really truly untoward, but, she just sees in him this little Aeneas. Well, here's the real problem, top of page 204. Suddenly, the Tures cease to Ansurgera. The towers cease to rise. Work on the city stops, because everybody else is like, the queen is not out here directing what's supposed to be going on, I ain't gonna do it. And next thing you know, everything kind of grinds to a halt. And you see around Indiana all the time, the machines are working on the roads or whatever. Just imagine, there's the cranes, there's the tackle, there's all the stuff, sitting around, nobody's using it. Towers cease to rise, nobody's preparing for war, everything is stopped, okay? Along this time, now in line 90 and following, we got a little colloquy, a little meeting between what two goddesses? Can you tell? It's in line 92. Venus and Juno. Good. Why'd you say Juno? Daughter of Saturn. Saturnia. Doesn't say Saturnus. That would be Saturn. Venus and Juno, the daughter of Saturn. They have a little thing together, and Juno starts up the situation. She starts up the conversation. She says, really big trophy you've won. You and your puer. And here by puer, she's not referring to Aeneas. Who's the other puer of Venus?
No,
Cupid. Oh, really great trophy the two of you have won. Two of you ganging up on poor Dido over here. Yeah, get her to fall in love. Like, oh yeah, real great thing that you guys have done. And now what's happening? Carthage, right? My beloved city ain't getting built. Okay, so we got to do something to halt this labor strike.
Since when has Juno been what? Now Carthage is hers?
Well, remember back in the beginning, Virgil had said she loved this place more than any other place.
Oh yeah.
Right? She kept what here? Remember what she kept her chariot there, kept her weapons there, and so it is. It's sacred to Juno. Venus kind of comes back. Well, what you got in mind? What do you want to do? And so Juno concocts this scheme. She says, I tell you what, why don't we just get the two of them together and actually to marry, and then work and kind of continue back on Carthage, and your boy will get his kingdom, and it's all going to be good. Of course, what's the problem with this? It's not the right place. It's not supposed to be in North Africa, and he's supposed to not leech onto somebody else's kingdom, but he's supposed to establish his own. Well, Venus knows this is something's fishy because of Juno anyhow, but she says, all right, well, we'll see where this goes, basically. Okay? Well, says Juno, line 122 and 123 and following. Okay? She says, here's what we'll do. We'll have them go out hunting together. And she says, we're going to stir up this really big storm. We'll even, in line 120, we'll have them grandine commixta. We'll even have some hail mixed in. It'll be a bad storm. Okay? And then, what will happen, she says, it'll go like this. She says, Dido and the Trojanus dukes, and the Trojan leader, meaning Aeneas, will end up at the Aeondum Speluncum, the same cave. They're out there in the rain and the storm, and everybody's looking for shelter, and everybody for themselves, and next thing you know, they're going to be in the same cave together. And she says, you know what? Connubio Jungam, I shall join them in marriage, and I shall give my blessing to it, just like she promised old Aeolus, right? You do what I tell you to do, and I'll give you the most beautiful nymph, and I'll make it all a proper done deal in marriage. So that's what's going to happen. All right. So, next day, line 135 and following, everybody comes out. Dido looking gorgeous. She's got on purple. She's got on gold, looking every inch the queen. She's got this golden quiver hanging from her shoulder. She's going to go out for the hunt, just looking all rich and beautiful. Okay? And everybody goes out for the hunt. Line 160 and following. Interia magno misceri murmura caelum. Where have we seen that almost exact line before? Magno miscerem murmura montem
the wind.
was before.
Yeah.
With the wind. What do you notice about this line stylistically?
Alliteration.
Alliteration, got this rumbling, all right? Here's the rumbling. And you know what would be great is if one of the characters goes, wait a minute, I remember this in book 1. I think it's about to rain.
Disney.
Man, that one was just, you gotta throw the joke. You know this as a comedian. You just gotta keep throwing stuff out there. Sometimes it sticks to the wall, sometimes it doesn't,
That's
you know?
exactly right.
That's what
This
you
is
gotta
not the
do.
kind of story where characters need to break in the fourth wall.
I suppose not. You're right.
Scott
They don't
Pilgrim
need to be.
is
It was too Disney.
Suddenly it starts to rain. Everybody starts seeking different shelters. And wait a minute, look at line 165. Look at line 165 and look at line 124. Look at that. Look at that. 124 and 165. What do you notice, boys and girls?
Exactly the same.
It's exactly the same words.
Wow.
By golly, Juno's work, her scheme came true.
Oh.
Dido and the Trojan leader did come together at the same cave. And holy moly, the earth itself, Talos is another name for Terra. Talos, the earth itself, and Juno, they give the signum. They give the sign. And the ignes fulsera, the fires flashed. When do fires ever flash in a storm?
Lightning.
Lightning, thank you. The lightning flashed. And there are a bunch of nymphi, woodland nymphs, who ululated. This is the most wonderful verb in the world.
How?
They ululated. This is actually a verb, ululate. It ululate. Yes, it is this howling, this warbling sort of this cry. I mean, it's like a yodel, and so the nymphs they kind of do the regal thing out in the woods, and
That's what I meant to.
they are married. Now, here's the thing.
Good note.
This is a knockoff of an actual Roman wedding ceremony. The lightning is parallel to what?
The glass.
The torches, the torch parade. And the nymphi are parallel to the wedding songs that would be sung.
Okay.
And so you basically got the elements of an actual Roman wedding here. But says Virgil, that day was the primus lati. Lati is a synonym of mortis. Was the first day of death. This was not a good kind of marriage or wedding. It was the cause of all that is malorum, all that is bad. And so we are a couple hundred